Hello, this is Jackie Brown Books, and I'm delighted to have here Sandy O'Shea, who is one of the authors of 19 Tales of COVID-19. Welcome, Sandy.
Thanks, Jackie. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, so Sandy has quite an incredible story, which she's going to tell in her full feature book coming out later this year. And what's your title for that one, Sandy?
From Invisible to Technicolor.
And we see that you live in Technicolor just from your appearance.
I love color.
Yeah.
Black, it's just black and gray and white. I mean, I love the colors because I do have those in my room, but I've always been attracted to color.
Yes. Makes me happy. Was there actually a time where, as your color suggests by invisible, that you dressed in camouflage or dark colors or things that hid you, or despite that time were you always
No, I remember a period of time when I used to wear a lot of black and white and not so much gray, although funny enough, I'm wearing a lot more gray now than I ever used to. But gray because it's not black, it's not white, it's somewhere in between. And it goes with all colors. So, but no, when I was feeling very invisible, I didn't want to be seen. So I dressed kind of drab. I dressed in much looser clothing, more boxy. I would never do that now. I don't like it. I don't do super tight or anything because you just don't want to see that. But fitted is a really good middle ground.
So in your story within the compilation, you took your first stab at fiction. Isn't that correct?
I did. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
You basically said, here, write a fiction piece. And I'm like, oh. And it was a lot more challenging for me than writing what I have written and what I'm about to write or in the process of writing. So I do a lot of, my blog is basically all, information, inspiration. So for me to do fiction it was outside my comfort zone for sure.
Yes, but as it was kind of based on your real story, but just kind of twisted a bit. It's almost like there's a fork in the road. This is the way I really went. What if I'd gone this way, kind of thing. And so it was like exploring that possibility.
Very true.
Yeah. Do you want to give us a short description that doesn't give away the ending, perhaps? Or it could, but anyway, a short description of what you wrote?
I don't want to give away the ending. It's basically about a couple who have, they had a good marriage, but it wasn't working like it used to. And they were looking at separating. And of course, and then COVID hit. So all the lockdowns and all the restrictions and everything, and then how things ended up for them. So
wonderful. Yes. So what's fabulous about this, about our compilation, is that we have romance, like relationship stories like yours. We have fiction and nonfiction, as well as as well as story of other aspects of kind of big decisions people had to make during these incredible times. And
it's been exciting.
Yeah. And I can imagine us coming back and doing this interview 5 years from now and talking about like when all this is resolved and we've got and whatever the new normal is, and like looking back, and it'll be great to have this book as a record of that.
It would.
Yeah.
Totally would.
So I'm really excited about that. So this was not your first publication. Would you like to tell us a bit about the other things that because you're an active blogger, you're always online. What are your other published pieces?
The big one, it all kind of started with the blogs. And blogs were about, I'm a sex and hormone specialist. So the blogs were about different aspects of hormonal balance and what you could do. And I have a background in holistic nutrition. So I would talk about what the hormone is, what it does, what happens when it goes haywire, and how you can, help get it back into alignment. And then I had this crazy idea to actually do some ebooks, which are in existence somewhere, I think. But one was on women's health, one was on men's health, and one was on sexual health, because that's actually my passion, more so than anything else. And when I got those done, I was all excited. And there's a coach who has helped me with both speaking and business. And he's like, great, now put it all together and put it into a paperback. I'm like, huh?
Was that Marlon or?
That was Marlon Shaw.
All right. Yes. Well known, you know.
But I wanted to throttle him. So I went about doing that and learned how to publish on Amazon and the whole bit. So the book is actually called Let's Talk About Sex with Sandy.
And it's available on Amazon now?
It is on Amazon
yes,
now.
Wonderful.
It is not talking about sex with me. It's talking about sex with me. There's a big difference. How you put those words together.
Yeah, grammar matters.
Oh, so fortunately, when my company is actually Stepping Stones Wellness, but I decided to rebrand because I wanted to focus more on the sexual struggles that people were having. So low libido, erectile dysfunction, mismatched libidos or sex lives, whatever. So when I had my graphic designer do up my business cards, she just had it, let's talk sex, and then underneath with Sandy. And at first I'm like, you missed a word. And then I got thinking about it. It's like, wait a minute, this makes so much more sense, because of course, guys every so often had to make a joke about let's talk about sex with Sandy, right? So it just became Let's Talk Sex with Sandy.
Yeah.
But the book is still has the word about in it. So I haven't changed that yet.
Right. So you've we got to find those ebooks and get those revised and make them more the ones that you said you're not sure where they are, but this shows that your way of communicating with people is very visual. It's very based on these on the books that you've done, this story now in this compilation. So you are really about telling people your message and encouraging people to look at their relationships and make the best of them. So I'm sure, now having seen this interview, that a lot of people were going to want to read your story, because the ones that are published are about relationships and the sexual part of it, and it's all part of connecting with people. So we're so delighted. I'm so delighted to have your story within the compilation, because it's a very important piece of life in the pandemic. So
interesting. It has. I will. Spoiler. I will say everything worked out really well, but I'm not saying which way it went.
Okay. That is so key, that, whatever happens, the thing is that we're going to be all right. And I think that's a great message. That's a great message. So thank you. We'll put, and so everyone out there know that Sandy O'Shea is a prolific author. She's got a number of published works, including this book, another one coming out in 2021. And so stick with us, and we'll make sure that you know everything about Sex with Sandy. Bye.